Mikey, Buddha, and William Waffles.
I don't drink soda.
Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast, everybody. My name is Mikey Booyah.
I'm Awesome Ty.
And we are here in season 2 of the Natural Habitat Podcast.
Episode, is it, are we doing episode, is this 602 or is this SO2E02?
This would be SO2E02, but the title is hashtag or number sign in this case.
Okay.
602.
Okay. Got
and then the name of the title, which is Rest in Peace, Norm Macdonald.
R.I.P. Norm.
This is a sad episode.
Yeah, it is. We're in mourning here.
We're here in somber times. And Norm Macdonald, the beloved comedy legend.
Oh, yeah, legend for sure.
Absolutely a comedy legend.
100%.
Dead at 61. Had cancer for 10 years and hid it from everyone. His family, his friends, nobody knew. Himself, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he might have chose to block it out because I feel like Norm Macdonald is a guy that, you know, he just wants to laugh. He wants to make himself laugh and he wants to make other people laugh. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, even when he wasn't, you know, technically, you know, on screen or I feel like he was always on, you know what I mean? Like, when the camera stopped rolling, that was still, you know, he's still probably trying to, and like, I've never had an interaction with Norm Macdonald. I would have loved to have a beer with him or something, but that unfortunately didn't happen for
we can have one for him.
A number of reasons. But yeah, by all accounts, he was, you know, a real funny guy.
Real funny guy.
I don't know what kind of father he was. He might have been a really bad father.
Maybe a funny father.
I mean, yeah, maybe a funny father. I mean, maybe like a absentee father. Maybe he
or like a bad funny. Like
no, like just a real bad father. I honestly don't know what kind of man he was. You know what I mean? There's a lot of unanswered questions
Nobody
about
knows.
McDonald.
Yeah,
but
and because he kept it all a secret.
Yeah, definitely,
including his cancer.
So
he died. It shook the comedy world. In the world, I think there was an earthquake.
Yeah, there was an earthquake somewhere. Yeah,
yeah. And so we're gonna get into Norm Macdonald, who he was. A lot of our younger listeners don't even know who Norm Macdonald is.
Yeah, or maybe they know him from like the KFC commercials or something. Something that was insignificant in the scheme of things.
So we're gonna go through some of our favorite highlights in his career. And first, before we do that, we're going to play this video of Norm Macdonald speaking about his funeral. I think it's a very fitting video.
When I have my funeral, you know, and you know, most of these funerals, crying and sad and everything like that. And that's what I like, you know. I don't want, I've heard of other ones. Let's have a party. Whoa.
No party.
There'll be a lot of party days later. But right now, I'm dead. You know, people should be talking, crying.
So yeah, that's like, I mean, that kind of sums up his whole style. Is just like this ultra dry, impeccably delivered style of comedy. You know what I mean? And I mean that even when he was playing like a character or a role in a movie, that was kind of what you got. You know, that was just, it feels very, very genuine. And like I said, I don't know what kind of a man or father he was or husband. He might have been an abusive husband, but I feel like
he might have been.
As far as comedy goes, I mean, you gotta respect his dedication to just, you know, the consistency. And that went from Saturday Night Live, even when he was on Weekend Update, he kept that, to his stand up, to his podcast, to random clips of him, you know, just kind of seizing like interviews and, you know, like late night interviews on a number of late night talk shows. There's all these videos of him just kind of coming in and just, you know, creating a little bit of chaos. And I think that was like, it always seemed like he was just trying to make himself laugh, to me at least, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people that, you know, enjoy comedy or, you know, the funny guys out there, you funny guys, you know, you people out there
like
joking.
I do stuff all the time to make myself laugh. Like we might get into like a thing later that I just randomly became of me trying to make myself amused.
And that's better than, kicking yourself and being sad and thinking about all the horrible things that are happening.
Yeah,
or whatever.
you just belly chuckle the terror away.
Yeah, I remember
right
recently my sister was leaving her house with my niece, and she ran over and killed the family cat. It's like a long running joke that she hates Cooper. Somebody take Cooper, get him out of here. I hate that fucking cat.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. And then she ran him over on accident, took him to the vet, and they had to put him down. And I went over there to go make sure that everyone was okay. Like, they've had the cat forever, you know?
Sure.
Like,
it's part of their family.
It's a horrible thing to happen. And I go over there and I walk in and they're already like laughing. And they're like, we've moved past that and now we're laughing. So I got to unload all my jokes, and everybody had jokes about how she already killed him 1,000 times with her words and then finally did it with the car, and all of these things, and how Monica is halfway, to blame because she was in the car. So she's like an accomplice. And normally, people would like light a candle for Cooper, and they would all cry and tell their favorite memories about how he
it sounds to me
scratched
like
up their
in a lot of
shirt.
ways Cooper had it coming.
He really did,
just a terrible cat.
And that's the thing. And it made it easier to joke about, and then made it a lighter moment to where some things happen in life that you have no control over. That wasn't one of them. She could have not.
Missed.
But sometimes,
just like literally a tire's width to the left or right would have
or
done
just kind of looked around, and been aware of your surroundings. But plus, she probably had a backup camera in her car.
Backup cameras in most cars now.
So in other moments besides that, things happen that are out of your control, and there's different ways that you can, react to them. And I think Norm Macdonald was a great example of just kind of laughing through the pain, even though it's unhealthy sometimes if you put shit off and never deal with it. But to a certain extent, you have to just laugh it off.
Yeah.
And just move on, And unfortunately, everybody dies. And fortunately, everybody dies. So it's not like a horrible thing that happened. You want to live forever?
Norm Macdonald, after like 100 years, I'm going to get tired of him. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be like, you know what, Norm, that's enough.
It's enough.
Maybe try some slapstick now or something. This dry stuff, I need to wet my whistle.
But that didn't happen. He died. And speaking of died, our brand new tie-dyed Natural Habitat Podcast t-shirts that I'm wearing now.
I didn't wear mine. I didn't.
They're available for sale. The link is in the bio. You can buy that. 5% of the proceeds will go to us.
That's, good. Yeah. And I've been supporting Norm Macdonald through my laughter for years. Yeah. So in a roundabout way, 5% of the proceeds
goes retroactively to him.
Yeah, somehow.
So Norm Macdonald was probably best known for his role as the host of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live for a long stretch.
Yeah, I would say he's the best one I can think of.
Yeah.
David Spade was all right. They've had a few decent ones, but Norm Macdonald.
Wasn't Colin Quinn Weekend Update?
Colin Quinn was,
minute?
yes, he was. And then Colin Yost, a more forgettable Colin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Norm Macdonald, again, this just goes back to everything that we were saying. He was just so consistent with his style throughout the years. Like this Norm Macdonald was probably my first introduction to him. Mm-hmm. But you watch this, he's a young man here, and just the dryness and the way he delivers, and you could tell he even probably wrote the jokes. And
yeah, he got to write all of his jokes for Weekend Update, which was cool because he didn't like being in the sketches and like rehearsing and doing the whole dress up thing.
He had his own style. There were Dennis Miller was the Weekend Update guy for a long time, and he kind of just did like I'm a cool comedian type thing. And then the other ones, a lot of them did like a fake newsman type thing. But Norm Macdonald just kind of did Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, in a big suit.
I remember a lot of instances of him just kind of bagging on the show altogether, because it's not like he was a regular cast member. I don't ever really remember him in any other sketches or doing any other characters on Saturday Night Live. I feel like he was exclusively Weekend Update.
So what I do have is I have the joke that got him fired from SNL, but first I just want to play a little bit of just his style.
Just a little taste.
Just a little taste
That
of this
Tiger
Weekend
song.
Update style.
Do 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 loo.
Is that a song?
Do 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 loo. Yeah. Yeah. Have a taste. Boo boo boo. I'm just gonna keep doing it until this loads. Boo 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 do do.
Good, thank you. That's killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Killing the dead air.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Years in prison for committing 19 murders. You better be careful, though, because New York has just passed a tough new law. 20 strikes and you're out.
Okay, not the best example.
Yeah,
to
it
start
was-
with.
it
A
was-
comet hit the planet Jupiter last July, and scientists now say
Is
these
this just
dark
like a random
scars have almost completely
Weekend
disappeared.
Update, or is this highlights?
But the emotional scars will be there for a long, long time.
Says his best jokes.
Ford this week.
Looks like there's
called
no
two
cuts,
models
though,
of
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
cars,
thinking.
saying that they might explode during refueling. At Ford, quality is
this
job
just
one.
happened to be all of his
And
best
job
jokes
two,
in the one Weekend
making
Update.
your
He
car
killed it.
explode.
Yeah. It was a real,
Making your-
just like a rocket ride for Norm Macdonald
This
on
week,
Weekend
we're
Update.
called-
He had this one episode,
Long
and then
time.
the rest was.
Okay, so this one wasn't bad. We'll play this one more time. This is a good example of his style of comedy.
Ford this week recalled two models of cars, saying that they might explode during refueling. At Ford, quality is job one. And job two, making your car explode.
Yeah, not bad, right? So, yada yada down the road, he was the best Weekend Update that they had. And then O.J. Simpson got acquitted for killing his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, Nicole Kidman.
Acquitted of, not for.
Oh yeah, acquitted
Not
of.
For. It would be convicted for
acquitted of killing his girlfriend and her boyfriend. Or,
Yeah, OJ was getting cucked by like a white dude, and he did
Yeah,
not. He
didn't
was-
like that.
No.
And but the glove was small, so he got off, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
So Norm Macdonald started doing these OJ jokes on Weekend Update. Lorne Michaels, the head honcho of SNL, which I'm sure you've heard a bunch of SNL stories on podcasts and shit.
Sure.
SNL was a dark place to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone was just fighting to get their skits on and fighting to be, because if you didn't fight and get one of your ideas on there, then you weren't going to be in any sketches that week.
Sure, yeah.
And you don't get paid.
Ask good buddy of the podcast. What was the guy's name?
Fuck, what was that guy's name?
The guy that
Best
was on
Friends, yeah.
like we have an SNL writer who's contributed to this podcast. So
Yeah, he shouted out and he's been listening
I
to
mean,
us a
we
lot.
could ask him if we want to.
Maybe one day. But he kept making these OJ jokes. Lorne Michaels was like, hey, you can't just do whatever the fuck you want.
Cut it out.
And then this was the one that allegedly, the straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back.
Just snapped it. The straw that broke the camel's back.
The straw that broke.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you.
So that was the one where Lorne Michaels was like, you're out of here. Like, you can't.
I mean, that's like ridiculous. That was the biggest story in 1995 and 96 or whatever it was. Like why would, and it's not like they didn't have other shots about OJ or skits
Yeah.
or shit like that.
So he left SNL and then he blew up with his acting career, was in all kinds of movies.
He did a movie with Dave Chappelle, didn't he? That was like, it was like a super underrated movie. Look at his, Screwed. Go to Screwed. That is a underrated movie right there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it is.
And
Man,
Danny
I'm gonna have to
DeVito.
watch that.
Sarah Silverman.
Super underrated.
Yeah, Screwed was lit. And then he was in Dr. Dolittle. He was in all the bunch of Adam Sandler movies and shit. Looks like all the Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
Just about. And then had fucking 1,000 shows.
Oh, so many shows for sure. He
Not
was
only
on.
what?
Wasn't he on? Never mind.
Not only was he in fucking all of these popular shows, but he had a bunch of shows that he was always pitching to networks and
Mike
shit.
Tyson Mysteries, Pigeon.
Yeah,
of
Mike
course.
Tyson. He was.
Fucking fire performance. Pigeon was like the highlight of that show.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I remember that was the Adult Swim drive-in that we went to where they premiered Mike Tyson's Mysteries for the first
I
time.
don't even remember.
I want to say that was where they premiered like the first episode.
Yeah,
Was at that Adult Swim drive-in.
series.
They had good tots there. I don't really like remember a lot about what we saw, but we saw a lot of exclusive shit, which
It was
was
cool. It was super fun and like a free event. Like,
yeah,
like,
I've been
wow.
to 2 of them, and if anybody has the chance to go to an Adult Swim event,
And then you got like a bunch of free like merch. I still have that Aqua Teen hat.
yeah, the Mooner Nights hat.
Yeah.
I got a hat. I got a couple posters.
Adult Swim's falling off hard though. I don't even know if they do stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, they probably can't afford it. They haven't had a hit for a while, but
I guess Rick and Morty is probably
it's kind of
paying the
ideal
bills
for
him.
it's ideal for those now because we went to those before the pandemic, and that would be perfect now because we went to one that was in your cars, drive-in
Yep.
style,
Yeah.
and then there was one that was like in a field at like a park, and they just had a big projector up, so it's all outdoors, social distancing already. But yeah, Mike Tyson Mysteries was lit. So not only did he have these, but he pitched like a dozen shows to all these networks. And I think one of the greatest things that could happen to him was that he adopted podcasts like early on. So this is from the Video Podcast Network, VPN.
Sure.
And it was like when podcasts were first dropping on YouTube, like video podcasts. They
were calling them vodcasts.
Vodcasts, yeah. This was like the big channel. I remember back when Comedy Bang Bang used to do video, they would do video on the Video Podcast
And
Network.
it's like I always thought those were dumb. Like you're listening to a podcast. Why do you need to like see us sitting here talking?
Yeah, now every podcast is video, even though 90% of every podcast listenership is audio, because people still listen to podcasts when they're driving, when they're working out, when they're working, when they can't watch a screen. Who wants to sit there and watch people?
You know what?
I mean, please, thank you. And thank you for watching.
Like maybe it's just because of how I consume it or like my my need to see myself. But when I like do watch this show or listen to the show, I watch the video. I don't ever listen to it. It's just audio. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'll listen to the audio like in my car sometimes. But, yeah, you're right. Whenever I'm like, I'm going to go see how we did on this, or I'm going to go see how this played out. Like, it's always on the show.
And then like also like video podcasts are also being increasingly edited. So there's more visual content than, just.
So he,
could you put it in like a CGI dragon?
Yeah.
When I say like there's more than just what I.
It's the first time you said it? Okay. Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, there's a lot going on visually or whatever I said, and boom, fucking dragon comes out.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sick.
So Norm was on the train early. He was like, podcasts, I'm all about it. We'll make this little set. We'll record it. We'll put it on YouTube. And he started Norm Live.
Yeah, well, it's time to do jokes.
Now, this is one of my favorite segments. He would do jokes, and it was a card, like a little cue card, and it would have a joke typed out on it. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that they were all written by Norm because of how the jokes are, but he would blame it on everyone. He would say, everybody put in jokes. Nobody knows who they're from. Like all these guys and everyone in the crew.
Right.
Like the cameraman and shit. And it just like diffuses the blame.
This is where we put it in a bit. We put it.
And then he gives them to stars like Bob Saget.
A big thing, jokes.
Yeah.
So here, you can
Does
start.
it flash? Does it have
You
exclamation
can start.
mark?
Just do the joke right into that camera.
And who wrote these? You got me just doing jokes.
Just read a joke.
Unsolicited. Is this from that joke book, that 1942?
No, this is a real joke.
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist.
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million are racist, according to
they're
this.
fine.
That's the guy from Arrested
No, it
Development.
was written before.
Oh, I never watched that.
Marty Funkhauser from Arrested
Well, he's
Development.
not.
my
he's
clothes
Or not
are
Arrested,
very-
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Part of this. No, you can't read that.
Both shows you
you know,
should
my
be watching, man. Like, have you not seen those shows?
Yeah. Arrested Development, not so much, but the other one, what were you saying? The
Curb
one-
Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
My clothes, Larry, make me look slimmer, but they did not fool that flight of stairs that collapsed under my astonishing new girth.
Who writes these?
I'm
No,
fat now.
where do they come from?
A man in Chipata allowed a hyena to eat his penis after being told by a witch doctor that would help him become rich. Is it me, or does it sound like that hyena and witch doctor were in cahoots?
I think maybe they were in cahoots.
Who writes these?
Huh?
We should have this person locked up and looked at, or at least looked at. A 28-year-old med student is auctioning off her virginity online. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life.
That ain't bad. That ain't
Who
bad.
writes these?
Oh, well. How about this one?
Oh,
Who
well.
writes them? You know who writes them? Prison, men in prison.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's get back to Tom.
You wrote all these, Norm, or you sit up and write all these? Or?
You won't deny it.
Music is the universal language, but one day soon it will be replaced by Chinese.
Hey, we got some jokes.
All right,
If
but
that's all right.
But you know, are these street jokes?
No.
So you wrote
they're
them?
Not. They're not. Someone wrote them.
Some of them wrote that you know.
Someone wrote them.
People in this room.
Okay, cool.
Some people in this
Thank
room.
you.
I don't want to say who because in case the joke doesn't work.
Okay, all right. Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it.
I didn't get that.
See, I love
Wait,
how
stop.
they laugh. I love how they laugh. It's just weird, right? Some of them are odd.
Oh, just like he just gave him like a really bad joke.
This is a joke.
I was expecting it to be like
Is this
vaguely
a joke?
offensive or something.
Is this a joke?
Las Vegas is now home to a 550-foot tall Ferris wheel. Also drawing thousands to Las Vegas, whores. That's you. That's your voice all the way. Right?
Yeah. So Norm,
100%.
so
Yeah,
Norm
they're-
just writes
obviously.
all these bad or offensive jokes and then makes other people read them on the show, which is great. And that is why people love Norm. That's why we love him.
So one of my favorite Norm Macdonald clips was like something like I randomly stumbled on. I don't even remember how, but it's the YouTube one where he has like a lot of like, you know, a lot of times when he's crashed an interview, but this, like, there was this YouTube awards, like a YouTube Big Live Comedy Show awards, some sort of event, super like B to C to D tier celebrity like event.
Yeah.
And you can tell the event kind of takes itself too seriously. Well, Norm wasn't going to let that happen. And they made the mistake of stopping him on their quote unquote red carpet. And
Oh, it wasn't this one?
no, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I don't think they stopped him. I think that he was a host. He was hired to host.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, because these are compilations throughout the show. So watch. This is Jenny Slate, who is from I forget what she's from. She was in something.
Something. In any event, like
comedic actor.
he hijacks it, and like the actual hosts have no clue.
So
how
what
to,
it is YouTube was throwing this event, and they had the YouTube money, but none of the like YouTube status. So they were like, we're gonna buy these people to host our event. They got Jenny Slate, and then they got this guy who is a YouTuber, Jenny Slate's all dressed up.
And I'm
She's got her
Jenny
makeup
Slate.
done.
And I'm Cassim G. We'll be here for the
Cassim
next
G,
hour
yeah.
talking all
Cassim
the
Look at this
G
asshole.
musicians,
is
He
here.
has no. I mean, like Norm's gonna wreck shop on this guy.
sketch comedians performing in tonight's big live
And
comedy
then
show. We're also going to hear about new videos.
We
that
have
premiere
Norm
tonight.
Macdonald,
And joining us in the
who is here in his sweatpants. So he also has a cigarette, unlit cigarette, which is funny.
He's in
the wonderful
sweatpants and a
Norm
sweatshirt.
Macdonald.
Yes, and Jenny, all the stars are here.
Do you want
Oh, and he's got a
microphone,
script,
Yes.
which makes it
that
even
my
better.
treat?
What a disaster.
Of course he
Jenny,
does.
all the stars are here.
It's true.
Beardy Man, Claude Racine, Dax Flame, Betty Fine,
You got it.
and Raphael Fine. All the stars
You really keep up with all that
are
stuff.
here tonight. Oh, yes. Harley
The look on his
Morenstein
face.
is here.
All right. And we also have comedian Todd Glass.
tries to
He'll
take
be
it back
hanging out
here.
backstage with some of tonight's guests. And on the red carpet, we've got comedian Kulap Viley Suck. And
Trying to
I
get,
feel like
and she's
Todd will
for
be
sure reading off
struggling
a
to know these
teleprompter.
people.
So she's trying to get her lines in, which is
Yeah.
hard to read off a
I'm sorry, I'm
teleprompter.
going to continue with the what the computer says, Norm.
Yep.
Although I'd
I'm
love
sorry.
to talk to you more than this computer.
Poor girl, like
But I
it's
have
super
to
hard
do
to
what
read
the
off a
computer
teleprompter.
says, even though I do love you, Norm. I think you're one
Okay.
of the best. We're also going to be talking to the
Well,
host
I'm
of
no Harley Morenstein.
You're not, Norm.
Just
but you
clouning
know what?
these YouTubers.
Just let me read this fucking
Okay.
thing. This is Daily Grace Helbig. Okay?
I'm here now.
Oh, with Lonely Island is a
Yeah.
great one part.
And you could really see how much Norm was loved by his peers in Andy Samberg's
Oh
reaction.
yeah, for sure. He's like, man, like thank God Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald is here right now.
Andy Samberg, they've just been doing this whole slew of appearances at this time, probably because they're promoting a new album or whatever. So they just do all these interviews with all these people that are like Fanny B and Jenny Slate or whatever. And they just kind of do the professional interview thing. And Andy Samberg couldn't be more excited to have Norm
Well,
Macdonald.
sure.
there.
I mean, like, imagine you're in his shoes. Like, you're doing one of these things. Like, you probably feel like you're too big for this fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like small potatoes to
But
you're
you're getting
doing this
paid
thing.
4
But-
times
yeah,
the amount.
but like all of a sudden, for some reason, like Norm Macdonald is
Is there in sweatpants.
You're just like, oh my god,
Being the
this is-
funniest that anybody has ever been there.
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
Who
you know
will be
what I
on the
call
big.
them?
What do you call them?
I call him Sandberg and the other couple of fellas.
The mind's fire hit
The
is
other
how
couple.
Rolling Stone put it.
The other two, Akiva and Yorma. Thank you guys for joining us. Andy.
Thanks for knowing our names.
Yeah, no, I read the card. You guys ever been to a thing like this? No. What do you think?
Nothing like this.
It feels so pro and real. Am I on TV? Am I on the internet?
We don't know.
Oh, you're on the computer.
You're
folks.
on a velvet couch. You're on a maroon velvet couch in the beating hot sun.
Hey, can I ask a serious
beautiful.
question? I mean, fuck all these jokes. like when you name yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have fucking moments of regret later because it's permanent, almost like a tattoo?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Lonely Island, I was outvoted.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What were the other runner-up names?
Our first album was called Incredibad, and I wanted that to be the name of the band. But
We would have had regrets about that too, though.
Probably.
Let's be honest.
There's no winning when you're a comedy troupe.
Does
Right.
that happen a lot?
It all
Yeah,
sucks.
you're a troop.
Who comes up with the ideas, or do you guys fight a lot over ideas, or how does that work?
It's a democratic process.
Dumb question.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
answer
Yeah.
that question?
Yeah.
Who's always getting left out?
Someone's always mad. It's whoever's not. in
Enough
town.
with the jokes.
How do you guys feel in your bodies? Do you feel healthy and strong?
Absolutely not.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, digestion could be going better.
Yeah. I feel like that about
Hey,
myself.
enough of these fucking jokes. Can I ask one more serious question?
Hit me with a real one,
A
Norm.
real one.
Sandberg, when you went to SNL,
Yeah.
you went different than anybody else because you were already a fucking big hit, right?
I don't think so. Is that true?
We were definitely not a big hit. No.
Oh, Saturday Night Live made you guys a big hit?
Yeah, I mean, we had a small internet following.
Oh, so the computer doesn't really work to make you a big hit?
I mean, that was like 17 years ago, right? How long ago was that? It was a while ago. It's changed now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you started Incredibad,
/ The Lonely Island.
The Lonely Island, what's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask.
The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
I do
I do a
too.
real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch.
And like those guys like seem like low-key serious. Like I don't know if they're playing into it and like being dry or
action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
I wish I had a time machine. Why, to go see it? No, to take back my question.
Murder Hitler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true. You
and
want
oratory, and
be
then
locked in the gaze.
yeah, and then I joined the fucking party. No one.
He was full attention. You're like, whoa,
All
wait
right.
a minute. Maybe there's
Norm,
something to
I'm
this guy.
They try to cut him off.
Another serious
Believe it
question.
or not, they're telling us to wrap it up. I don't exactly know why.
Look at his face. That should be the screenshot for the episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's a man who's just trying to make himself laugh, and he succeeded.
Here, I'll take that right now.
Oh, and the other guys, both of their faces and Norm's face is just priceless. That's an incredible screenshot right there.
They're just both so stressed, and he's having such a great time. God, I fucking love him. It's so good. So I think that now is a good time to cut to our audience and find out their favorite
Norm Macdonald moments.
Yeah, their favorite
quotes or
highlights, whatever. Movies, could be anything. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's reach out to our first listener. This guy seems cool.
Seems like a Norm Macdonald fan for sure.
You know what this is. This is the Natural Habitat Podcast. You've been watching live, obviously, with your headphones, and we're talking Norm Macdonald. Rest in peace. What is your favorite Norm Macdonald movie, moment, joke, whatever?
Fucking dickhead.
God damn it. Okay. This guy, we'll see what's up with him. We'll see what's up with this guy. We'll see what's happening with her. Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We're talking about Norm Macdonald today. God damn it.
He looks like a Norm head.
He kind of does, right? I wish I would have.
Hey, what's up, man? What's your favorite Norm Macdonald moment?
Welcome to the podcast. We're talking Norm Macdonald.
Can you ask me again?
Yeah, we're welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast. Thank you for watching us. Thank you
very much.
We're talking about Norm Macdonald today, famous comedian. He died of cancer recently. Have you ever heard of him?
I never heard.
Norm Macdonald was a great comedy figure. Saturday Night Live. Did Weekend Update for like 15 years.
Yeah, your eyebrows are popping.
Yeah, you've heard Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
SNL?
Yes. And then Adam Sandler. You've heard of Adam Sandler? So Adam Sandler is leader of like a comedy troupe, Happy Madison Productions. He did. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, we've had a hard time getting people on here.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you a lot. But Adam Sandler made all these movies. He put Norm Macdonald in them. Norm Macdonald was
he's
fired.
a comedian, a dry comedian. But he was a famous comedian.
There's another guy here. There's two of us on the show.
Yeah. Should I pop in? No, I'm here. I'm here. You don't need to see me.
Here, this is his hand. So, I don't know if we're trying to reach out to our listeners, and find out their favorite Norm Macdonald moment. You said you don't have any, so I suggest that you go check out Norm Macdonald.
Is there like a chat, like a text chat we can pop him a link to?
No, I don't think there is.
Well,
but that's okay. Norm Macdonald, Natural Habitat Podcast. That's all you need.
And you are now officially a star. How does it feel to be a star now? Have you ever? Is this amount of fame and recognition that's coming your way? Does it seem overwhelming? Was it not something you had anticipated? Were you not?
Thank you.
I might have overwhelmed him.
He gave us a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
Let's see. Get one more. This guy seems like a...
Yeah, he seems like a Norm head.
Norm head. Come on, Norm head.
Beanie McGee, come on.
You would like our show. You have a beanie on.
Yeah, you used to wear a beanie?
I used to wear a beanie all the time. And I mean, it's like a big staple of people that like the show. All the people that hit me up and are like, hey, great episode. They all wear beanies.
I'm wearing a beanie right now.
I'm wearing a beanie on the inside. Last chance for everyone that's
Come on,
listening.
guys, get it in.
Hop on here. Thank you for tuning into the Natural.
I was gonna do. See, we do got a few female listeners. They just don't necessarily want to like be oogled and have to participate.
Who would?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, what's your favorite Norm Macdonald moment?
What was that?
This is the Natural Habitat Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. What is your favorite Norm Macdonald moment? We're talking about Norm Macdonald.
Non-McDonald moments. I have a few for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one time we drove to a McDonald's. My kids wanted a McDonald's, and we drove to one, and they said, "Oh, our system is down." And yeah, so you imagine, right?
The ice cream machine, right? That fucking ice cream machine.
Because everybody thought that they would just take long to answer, so there was a big line. And then after finally get to, the system was down, whatever. So we drove down to another McDonald's. We drove down to this McDonald's, and the lady said, "Only cash, exact cash."
Exact cash because of COVID.
So no change? No change? They couldn't break a 20 for you?
They couldn't break no money. You had to have exact cash, or that was the only option. You couldn't even use your card.
So did you go to a third McDonald's?
Say what?
Did you go to a third McDonald's?
We did, but guess what happened?
Wow.
The line was around the building, and I'm like, I'm not even going to go there, guys. I forget about it. Let's go.
That's 3 strikes and you're out, McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your story, and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, right?
Yeah. Rest in peace.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
We had some listeners that provided us some heartfelt memories of Norm Macdonald.
I think we got everything we needed from that.
Yeah.
And now we should actually jump into a segment. I think it's time. We have a lot of segments to do.
Oh, yeah. Let's start.
Yeah. And let's jump into the first segment, which is hanging out outside. Ty and I, we hang out outside. Sometimes before the show, we're out there. You know, you show up, you say, I'm here. I go out there and meet you. We're outside.
We're fucking blowing cigs like there's no cancer.
Mm-hmm. We're smoking.
We're living it up. We're being guys in our early 20s. We're hanging out. We're having fun.
And we are going to take you on a journey outside right now. We're going, and so are you. Let's do it.
So
and then we're going to cut to that.
And we're back.
We're back. And you are back inside. So that's what outside looks like. And, you know, that's a new segment. It's called Outside.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's one of our best.
I like it. And now we're balls deep in this episode. And it's time to talk about what we're really here to talk about.
Thanks, pranks.
Pranks. Yeah, it was Thanks, Pranks. And that's our next segment, which is called Thanks, Pranks. Sometimes you just got to prank your homies, you know?
Yeah.
What are friendships if you can't mess around?
And sometimes these pranks turn from like being like what was intended to be like maybe a couple sentences in a messenger to like being actual pranks where you dupe your friend into thinking that a venue wants to book you to impersonate Post Malone on Halloween and pay you for this.
You're creating fake people, fake accounts.
And then all of a sudden it starts to come together, and it almost seems serendipitous in that, hey, maybe you can be Post Malone on Halloween, and this venue, hey, maybe you do need a Post Malone show on Halloween, and you play Matchmaker, and we got a new segment, Matchmaker, make me a match.
Thanks, Pranks. And on this week's episode, our target is Roach Clip.
Yeah. So, like I randomly, I don't remember what we could just read it. We could
could.
Right.
So I know that you had messaged Roach and you said, the siren hit me up. And he said, about what? And then the screenshot should be in our messages. In there somewhere.
All right, so yeah, like I randomly was gonna mess with my friend Nick. We're in a band together. I was gonna tell him, or I did tell him, that a venue that we would play at sometimes hit me up, and they were interested in booking. Here, I got it here now.
Okay. Yeah, and we let's, before we get into this, let's say anybody out there that is like local to our area and knows Nick. Shush. I'm serious. Don't say anything.
Keep your fucking mouth shut.
He's not going to watch this episode.
If you tip him off on this and ruin this bit, you're banned from the show.
Yeah. And he's not going to watch this episode, let alone make it all the way through. He sees us in real life. He gets enough of us.
So I'm going to send you the full conversation. I'm thinking you read Nick's part.
Okay, cool.
And we'll do like a script here.
Let's see. I got some stuff coming in over here. We're going to do a little act this out.
All right.
Here it comes. Okay. So we'll start with your message to him out of the blue.
So the siren hit me up. The siren is this venue. ... So the siren hit me up.
What are they talking about?
They've been doing a lot of tribute / cover band shows, and they're looking to get into hip hop with it.
A hip-hop cover band?
So basically what's on the table would be like a Post Malone one first. I don't even know any of his music.
They want us to do Post Malone songs.
Well, Post Malone is only one person. It's you. They want you to perform as Post Malone on Halloween.
LOL.
Obviously, you have to figure out the hair thing, but other than that, I think you could pull it off.
Is it a paying gig?
Well, I'm sure.
What a weird concept. I don't even like Post Malone. Lie, by the way. I definitely don't sound like him. Lie, by the way.
Well, I think they based them off having a clever name for it. And in this case, it's Pose Malone.
Now, this is where everything flipped.
Yeah.
Pause in the conversation.
Like, I did not have Pose Malone up until that moment. Like this was not like premeditated.
Yeah. And you said that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, I typed it out, and I was like, I knew that we needed a clever name for it, and then it just came to me, Pose Malone. I was like,
Pose
perfect.
Malone. All right, we'll go back into it.
All right, so I think they do them based off having a clever name for it. In this case, it's Pose Malone.
And this is their whole brainchild.
You could say that.
How long of a set are they talking about?
I'd imagine you just do however many hits he has.
So 15 minutes?
I literally only know the Hootie and the Blowfish cover he does because they play it in Target, which is true.
LOL, period.
I'd imagine you got to do that too.
Sounds like a weird thing to do. Especially on Hallowangus. When do they need to know by? I would have to look up some music and see what I would be able to pull off.
I'll forward you the email.
Okay, so at this point, you messaged me.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, let's get Mikey in on this. Like, I was having so much fun with it. I'm like, man, I gotta like spread this. You know, I gotta share the wealth here.
So you hit me up and you were like, hey, do you want to pose as a promoter and we could take this even further? And then I said, absolutely. So I set up a Gmail, which is markgouffet@gmail.com. Which is spelled in a way to where you can't really tell right away that it's pronounced Goofy.
Yeah.
Or Goofy. But GOUFFET @gmail. And then I sent this email to you.
Right, because I had told him that they hit me up, you know, being that I was their contact for Rogue Status, knowing that Roach was a in my opinion, dead ringer for Post Malone or Pose Malone, I should say.
And during the past shows that you guys have done at the Siren, it was always you that did the correspondence. So it would be unnatural for them to reach out to Nick. He'd know that something was up. So I sent the message to you for you to forward to Nick, which is titled Pose Malone Halloween Hip Hop Showcase 10/31/2021. And I say, "Hi Tyler, Mark from the Siren here. Monty is a real person.
Monty's the promoter at the Siren.
He's the promoter at the Siren.
He's a real
so this
guy.
ties in real life to where Nick will believe it. Monty said that you two spoke about our Halloween hip hop cover show and that you had a guy for the part. He showed me some footage of your group performing, and Roach Clip looks like a perfect fit. Now, I almost was going to say like Roach Clips or something like that, but I decided to just lowercase the C in clip and call it that. If you could have him reach out to me at this email, we can work out the details. We are planning on a big blowout for that night, so it should be a packed house. Rock on, Mark."
And you were like, yeah, if we need to revise that, we can. But I thought that was perfect. So I immediately fired it off as a forward to Nick because I've dealt with, countless promoters, and that's pretty spot on. That's how they communicate. So that was all perfect. And I know he received it. He viewed it, and he has not responded so far, but I still believe that he's semi on the hook for sure. For sure, he has some, like, in the back of his mind, Ty's fucking with me, but it's not enough to where he's going to come out and, like, reply, be like, yeah, fuck you, or something like that. You know what I mean?
So I will say right now, because our plan is to get him to agree to this, and then once he does, we're going to pitch this show to the Siren as if Nick is the one that is really interested in doing this.
See, like, I think we don't even have to wait for him to agree, because I feel like if we pitch this to the Siren and they're receptive to it, then we got Nick locked up. If this thing becomes a real thing, Nick's gonna do it. Nick's gonna fucking dress up as Pose Malone and put on a wig and go and sing those songs for $100.
And nobody wants this. Nobody asked for this.
Nobody asked for this, but they didn't know that they needed it, because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be there on Halloween.
It's gonna be good.
I mean, like, if we could pull this off, what a fucking amazing feat, and it'll be good for everybody.
Yeah.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
That's right.
And in this case, like, are we the geese and they're the gander? Like, it's good all around.
Either way, it's good for everyone.
This is a win for the Siren. This is a win for Nick. It's a win for this podcast, and it's a win for everybody that's there on Halloween.
It's a win for
night.
you, because you get to follow along in the very beginning stages of this prank, and I think that we could actually do this, and I think that it's going to be great. I am willing to pledge $150 to put up towards Nick's payment, because I want him to get paid for all of this.
Well,
we're gonna promise him money. We're gonna have him
as
take
long
the
as
time off.
long as he shows up as Post Malone and has like a silly wig
He
on
gets
and
paid.
sing. Yeah, he's getting some money.
So I got $150 on it. Anybody else can throw in at you could send to our
for
PayPal.
a limited time only. We're gonna take your $62 seed. It's $62 now for the seed money.
Yeah.
We're gonna take that. You send it in by PayPal, and we're gonna donate it to Nick for assuming he fulfills his obligations. We're gonna give it to him.
We're gonna donate a percentage of that to
from
Nick.
now until Halloween.
Yeah, a percentage of your prayer.
Oh yeah,
because some of it has to go to prayers.
No,
for
yeah,
sure.
like we have to recoup ourselves, and it's probably
we're buying all these damn seeds.
Yeah.
So a percentage of it will go to Nick, and we're gonna get him a fat paycheck on Halloween.
And again, if you ruin this for us, like if you're one of like the few local listeners,
that's so
you're such a
fucked up
bitch.
if you were
And
to
if
do
we
that.
find out, like Nick will tell me
Nick will
eventually
tell us who
told
told
him, and we're gonna cut you off. We're gonna cut your fucking. We'll block you on Facebook.
We'll block your IP. You
Instagram,
won't be able to access the RSS feed anymore.
and we're just gonna clown you because like that's a bitch ass move because this has the potential to be great.
Yeah, leave it alone and just let it happen. Okay, this is dank pranks, and this is what we do here.
Or no, is it dank pranks or thanks?
Oh yeah,
pranks?
thanks pranks.
I think we actually did call it dank.
We did call
pranks,
it dank pranks, but I
think
do like thanks pranks.
Thanks pranks.
That's right.
And once we get Nick, we're gonna make him say it.
He's gonna look in the camera,
pranks.
dressed as Post Malone, and say thanks pranks.
That's the end game. That's 100% that's the final boss in this game.
Fuck, I'm so excited. I love it. So rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah, and one more update: the fucking IP theft shit.
Oh yeah.
So it's official. We've been trying to track down this pirate that stole the Rogue status page and turned it to police accountability. Well, as of today, I can report to you that police accountability is no more. That page is not up anymore, meaning that the Rogue status lineage page, from before the hack, is
all the
no
memories,
longer present.
all the videos,
everything's gone. I saved some of it because I had a feeling this was going to happen. But in addition to all of that being gone, this is going to make our investigation even tougher now because we have less of a, less to track down. Thankfully, we did save a bunch of stuff. We've got a few leads, and by no means is this the end of it. So, NC Tyrant Hunter, we're going to have a word. We're going to have a chat, and I will guarantee that much. And you're going to keep dodging my messages, then I'm going to find you. I'm going to dox you. We're going to let everybody know. His name's Jeff. I'm going to give out his last name. I'm going to find his public records. I'm going to give out his address. I'm going to give out his home phone number. I'm just going to completely, it's going to be like, we should probably delete this because yes, I'm basically confessing to a crime that I'm going to perpetrate on this guy.
And we're also not telling people to message NC Tyrant Hunter.
No.
That's targeted harassment.
But
don't message him and tell him to contact us.
No, I mean, you probably don't want to do that. So far, he's denied all of my comments and messages on Instagram. But he's still the closest link.
Yeah. There he is.
We'll get a little shot of him. Send this to you. If you know who this guy is.
So we're still working on this investigation. That'll be coming soon, as well as updates on thanks pranks. NC Tyrant Hunter. Contact us soon. Roach Clip. Contact Mark Gouffet.
Yeah. Hey, it's gotta, it could be just one date. But you see all these touring tribute bands. Who says we can't take this thing on the road?
Yeah.
Who says this isn't a happenstance?
What if we unintentionally become the managers of one of the biggest Post Malone tributes ever?
And we might have to do some research as to whether there's already a Post Malone. Because I'm thinking they're going to want to see some clips.
Because we could just find another Post Malone impersonator.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It would almost work to our favor in this case if there is already a Post Malone tribute, using that name. Because then we just say, hey, we do this post,
is him.
And then they'll Google it. And I mean, we're not saying, how do you, obviously the Post Malone isn't trademarked by this imposter. So we're good to go. There could be 100 of them.
And even if we just find one that has a different name, we could just re-upload all those videos onto a new YouTube, call him Post Malone, just like how Police Accountability did to everybody else's Facebooks, and send that to the siren.
It's all tying in.
Here we are. But that's going to be fun. Thanks, Pranks. And we love you guys.
R.I.P. Norm.
And we'll see you next week.
Natural Habitat Report. For $300,000, you can have the worst sex of your life.